2024 regular meeting of the Hawthorne City Council is called to order at 6:08 p.m. I'll be asking Councilwoman Katrina Manning. Councilwoman Katrina Manning, could you do the Pledge of Allegiance today? And I'm going to ask Council Member or our City Attorney to do the prayer today. Thank you.
We got a pastor, you know.
Yeah, but I'd like for you to do it. Thanks. It's okay.
I want for you to work.
Give it a shot, my friend. Let's go.
Can we all bow our heads? We ask that we have a very productive meeting. We ask that we think of the residents of the Hawthorne City first. We ask for peace in the world and many good things to come for the city. Amen.
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 Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Madam Clerk, the roll call, please.
Councilmember Manning,
Here.
Councilmember Montero,
Present.
Councilmember Patterson,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Reyes English,
Here.
Mayor Vargas,
Here.
all present.
The first presentation, we have DJ Torado. Please come.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Council members, and City of Hawthorne residents. My name is DJ Torado, and I will be presenting on the My Civic 311 application. So a lot. What is the My Civic 311 app? It's a non-emergency online request service system. So again, it's for non-emergencies. For emergencies, please call 911. Request services such as graffiti removal, pothole repair, and illegal dumping can be requested on the app, and you do not need to provide any information. It can be anonymous, and requests get sent directly to city staff. So how can you access the My Civic 311 app? There's two ways. One is through our website at cityofhawthorne.org, and the other is by downloading the My Civic 311 app on a smartphone, on your iPhone through the Apple App Store, and on Android through the Google Play Store, and I will be demonstrating both methods. So again, if you want to access it by PC, you can go to the website, cityofhawthorne.org. Underneath the video playing, you see the 6 buttons. One of them says Virtual City Hall, so you can click on that one. And it'll take you to this page, Virtual City Hall. In the middle, it says you can access it by PC or phone by visiting Hawthorne Citizen Self-Service. And it'll take you to this page. And then at the top, it says My Hawthorne 311. And then it'll take you to this page where it'll have a list of requests that you can submit to city employees. So the sample one I have is for potholes. There's some questions that you need to answer in order for your request to go through, such as the nearest cross streets or intersection of where the pothole is, a description of the pothole, and also the map. Specifically for potholes, if it is on a freeway, you would contact Caltrans, and if it is in unincorporated LA County, you would contact LA County. So if it's anywhere outside of City of Hawthorne boundaries, you will not be able to submit a request. Those would have to go to those respective agencies. And then so after you fill out the form and click submit, city staff gets an email that a request has been submitted, and then we will go through the appropriate measures to make sure that the request is fulfilled. In terms of the mobile app, you can download it again from your smartphone, the My Civic 311 app. And then once you get to the home page, there's a report an issue button. And again, same thing, there's a list of requests that you can select to report an issue. Depending on the issue, there'll be a pop-up that says if it's not applicable for the City of Hawthorne, then you need to access a different website. And then again, you can fill out your information if you want to. It is better if you do, just because some of the requests are vague, and it's better if we have at least your contact information, maybe an email or your phone number, so that we can contact you if we have any additional questions regarding your issue. And then you can also submit photos. Photos are also really good just because it gives us a clearer picture of what the issue is. Sometimes you can't really describe it clearly. So a picture is worth 1,000 words. So I would like to do the mobile access demonstration. If you can see from the TV. So you can see the app. There's different things that you can do. So I'm going to click on report an issue, and then I can scroll down to where it says potholes, for example. Again, if a pothole is located outside excuse me, of City of Hawthorne jurisdiction, like Caltrans or unincorporated, you would have to contact them directly. Again, if you want to put in your contact info, like your name or your email address, it would help, just in case city staff has any questions regarding your request. And then, so I'm just going to put a random street, just say El Segundo and Hawthorne. And then I'm just going to say in the middle of the street. And then you click next. And then again, there's a map, so you can zoom in with your phone directly to the location. So in this case, I zoom in directly to El Segundo and Hawthorne. If someone has already requested a pothole to be fixed here, sometimes there'll be a pop-up that says, are you sure you want to submit another request? You can submit another request if you want to, or you can just cancel. But in this case, I'm going to continue. And then if you want to add additional notes or photos, that would be helpful as well. And then you would click submit. So you should get this pop-up that says your report has been submitted. If you have any questions, please contact Public Works. So that is the app version, and then I'm going to go back and do the browser version on your PC. So on the homepage, cityofhawthorne.org, under the video, there's Virtual City Hall. And then you scroll down, and it says you can access it by PC or phone by visiting Hawthorne Citizen Self-Service. And then at the top, it says My Hawthorne 311, so you click on that. And then you can do your request here, so I can do a pothole again. And then I can say El Segundo and Ramona. Pothole on north side of El Segundo. And then on the map, you can zoom in to El Segundo and Ramona. And then if you have any photos, you can include that in there. And again, your name and your phone number or your email if you want to provide that. And then you click submit. And it says report submitted successfully. On the city staff end, we get this page. We get an email for when requests come in, and we also have a list of all pending or completed requests. So this is what we see, and then if we have any questions, we'll contact the resident directly, or we'll go directly and resolve the issue. So that is it from me. I will take any questions. Thank you.
Any comments, questions?
I do.
No? Okay, go ahead.
To the chair. Thank you, first of all, for your presentation. 311 is being used in Los Angeles, and I believe 211 is used through LA County. But you're absolutely right. It's a good way to know that you submitted it because it's on your phone. It's, gives you, I think, a case number or a reference number. And then if you have the photo, that even expedites it further. I just drove through Northrop Way in between Prairie and Crenshaw, and there's a huge pothole in the middle of the street. So I'm going to make that request using the 311, and I didn't take a picture because it was dark. It was nighttime, but I felt it. So thank you so much, City of Hawthorne. I love how we're getting innovated and especially utilizing these types of tools. And I hope the City of Hawthorne will take advantage of it. I'm always reporting dumping along the railroad, bulky items, couches, beds, dresser drawers, things like this. And it's important to give direction like, southeast, northwest, corner, at, or in front of, or the rear of, in the alley, etc. So these types of identifiers are important. And I highly suggest that we get the support of the city to report whatever you see instantly. That's very important. We're not going to know about it unless, you report it. You could do it now. You don't have to call council, city council. You don't have to, we love your emails. We love, being able to support you in getting your requests made. But look, you have now 311 to help you too. So that's great work. Thank you.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff, for the presentation. The 311, when did we launch this?
We launched this, I believe, last July.
That's July last
2023.
year. Yeah,
Yes.
2023. So how many people that you said have utilized that so far? Did you have a number in mind?
I know there's around like 100 users at the minimum.
Yeah.
Not everyone obviously makes an account, but the ones that I've seen from the back end, there's at least 100 accounts on there. But there are a lot of anonymous requests.
Okay. Yeah, because I think, because I know, we launched this a year ago, so it's not new. So I would just wonder if maybe we could find a way to promote it more, to put in our billboards somewhere, so social media so people can get to it because it's a good tool. So, and I think it would be much better utilized if people know about it because now I believe about 2 meetings ago we got a young lady coming to ask for an app, and then here we are. We have this over a year ago. So I appreciate you to come back to us and promote it again. So maybe we have to remind people almost every day, 311, 311, all right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Erica Lampkin, please. Good Neighbor Award presentation.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and remaining council members. Tonight, I'm going to present to you, 3 employees who provided stellar work in the month of March. When I call your name, nominees, please stand up. First candidate or first nominee is Samuel English.
Yay.
Sam works in the city attorney's office. He wears many hats for the office. He accomplishes them all with a smile. He handles voluminous amounts of work in the area of workers' compensation claims, disability retirement claims, and small claims through the city's third-party insurance administrator. He assists with budgeting, supervises the administrative staff in the office, and is currently the temporary emergency preparedness coordinator. Even with his numerous tasks, Sam takes the time to have pleasant conversations with staff and shows sincere care for others at work. He is always professional, he shows great team effort, and is friendly to all. The city attorney's office is heavily dependent upon Sam's hands-on approach as the office manager. He carries heavy duties and tasks. He is thorough in his investigative skills and collecting evidence for all of our claims. Sam's appreciation is not limited to the city attorney's office, and all who deal with him appreciate him. Although given the number of tasks that most would complain about, Sam always does his work while smiling or laughing, and he is always respectful. It would not be an exaggeration to say that he is well liked by everyone at City Hall. Our next nominee is Ebony Johnson of the Public Works Department. Ebony is nominated because of her exemplary attitude and diligent work that she displays every day in the office. Her bright personality and willingness to help makes her not only a dedicated worker in the department, but a wonderful person to be around. When planning for team meetings, she exemplifies teamwork and communication as she plans for what materials are needed while lighting up the atmosphere in the process. Her impact on the department is reflected by the culture displayed in the team dynamic. Everyone enjoys being around her and can count on her for additional assistance, whether it be for projects or lighthearted conversation. As for the city contributions, she works diligently to handle complaints and requests from citizens, making sure the voices of our community are heard. Ebony has made great strides in her assistance with citizens of the community and making sure to follow up on every assignment that is handed to her. She makes sure to check up on her fellow colleagues and surpasses all expectations through her work. And our final candidate or nominee is Officer Michael Grajeda. Officer Michael Grajeda is nominated for the Good Neighbor Award in recognition of his exceptional contributions and commitment to service within the Hawthorne Police Department. Officer Grajeda joined the department in May of 2009, and since then, he has consistently demonstrated qualities that exemplify what it means to be an outstanding member of our team and an ambassador of the Hawthorne police culture. He is not only dedicated to his duties, but also goes above and beyond to foster a positive and supportive environment for his colleagues. One of his remarkable qualities is his ability to uplift the spirits of those around him. His sense of humor and charismatic personality make him a valuable asset to our department, or to the department. Additionally, he possesses exceptional skills in latent print lifting, a crucial aspect of investigative work. His proficiency in this area has significantly contributed to the department's success in solving cases. Furthermore, he has taken on the role of the shift DJ, bringing a sense of camaraderie and unity among his peers. His passion for music and his willingness to create a lively atmosphere during shifts have greatly enhanced the morale within the department. Besides being a San Francisco Giants fan, Officer Grajeda embodies the values of collaboration, professionalism, camaraderie, and service excellence that the Good Neighbor Award seeks to honor. His contributions to the Hawthorne Police Department make him a deserving candidate of this prestigious recognition. As always, we have such amazing workers for the city of Hawthorne. The committee could not make a decision, so they are all winners tonight.
Yeah.
You guys can come up and get your award and take a picture with us.
Did they want to say a few words? Did anyone want to say a few words?
Take pictures. Where's the memo? Everybody come in.
look at me, and in 3, 2, 1, and 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Thank you.
Congratulations to all the winners today. Thank you for all your dedication. So many comments and nice things to say about all of the employees that were nominated and that won. So many experiences, and we're thankful for their service. Thank you. Okay. Greg McLean, rebranding new city logo.
Congratulations, you guys. Good work.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem and Council, and to the citizens of the city who are here and watching. I'm going to be talking to you about the effort to rebrand the city with a new logo, and we're going to start with a little bit of historic information. Here's an example of a logo that I found that was used in 1960. I'm not sure how much earlier before that it was used, or if it was used for a long time or not, but this represents Hawthorne at a time when Northrop and aviation dominated the city's identity. And for about 18 years, maybe a little less, the city used this logo, which features the city hall at the time, which became the police station, which then got torn down to build a hotel. So this was a time when the city was growing into its own identity. And then the one we're all familiar with was adopted in 1978. And this was reflecting a city trying to reinvent itself. There was a lot of redevelopment activity going on then, and we got a new city hall and a new mall during this period. But we're looking at, we put together a committee to study new logo ideas because we feel like this is a turning point in the city's history, and we'd like to honor that with a new logo. So starting with a vision of a dynamic and bright future, and building on the city's assets and strengths, but creating a break with the past, but acknowledgement of key values. So this is the final version of the logo that was presented. This incorporates the vision of the committee, as well as comments and recommendations from the City Council. I'd like to go into a little bit of the development of this. We have a lot of borrowed elements from our current logo. For example, there's the airplane. Only we made it look kind of like a rocket, but kind of like an airplane, so we get the best of both. There's the sun. The difference is, though, it's rising on the right and it's setting on the left, okay, just so you know. This is the tower of the airport, iconic structure of the city. 1922, we figured we didn't need the incorporated, but we definitely want that 1922 in there. And the City of Good Neighbors was the final addition from the council. I'd like to also address some of the items that are shown here. So, dawn of a bright future. Here we have a very strong unifying ring around the entire thing. We have key assets of the city are represented. These were chosen for their recognizability, but also different aspects of the city's, the city's offerings. The plane deliberately breaks through the ring. That's breaking the boundaries of possibilities. We got a dynamic swoosh in here. It adds a lot of motion to the whole logo. Nod to the iconic water tower. And also a nod to the good climate. We got a palm tree. We think this covers just about everything. And it's straightforward. It's not overcrowded. It's rather attractive, I think. The logo also comes with variations. For example, we have a simpler variation and a monocolor variation. These will be used in different cases where, say, you have a small version of it, like on a pen, and you can't get all that detail, you pick one of these. You could use one of these on a business card, although we could probably get all the detail there. There's notepads and all kinds of other things that we can use it for. We also have, the designer also came up with a letterhead that incorporates the logo as the O in Hawthorne, which we
Oh,
thought was
that's
nice.
nice.
Yeah, we
That's
thought that was nice.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So here's some of the ways that the logo would be used. We see the police car branding using it, web page, notepads, business cards, pens, all kinds of things, stationery. And it looks good in many different formats, but you can see how different ones are used. Some are the monotone, some are the colorful ones, some are the simple ones. So that concludes the presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you so much. And thanks for, I have to admit, I like to keep things the same, but sometimes for some things, but this is definitely, it's a good way of imagining ourselves and how we're progressing into the future. So the group took our recommendations into account, and it's very evident, it's nice, it's clean, it's solid. I think we're gonna be envied by many cities around when they see this logo, either on our shirts where we're representing the city, or when they take a look at our website or anything that we do. So thank you so much for your guys' efforts.
Through the chair.
Yes.
Mr. McLean,
Yes.
thank you very much, because you just show us that Hawthorne is moving in the right direction, and with this new logo, with the spirit of adventure and potentially new business coming to Hawthorne. And I think that logo now, it stands for what we is all about. Like you said, the city of good neighbors, the aviation, the rocket, right? Because now every day SpaceX is launching a Falcon 9 from Vanderbilt. We can see the whole, trail of the hot rocket. So it is beautiful. So I want to say thank you for the committee. Thank you, Mr. City Manager. Thank you for all the committee that work on that and took our advice, and it made it perfect. So thank you.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
I want to say that I think the logo is gorgeous. I don't remember what the previous presentation looked like, but it sounds like you guys took that and made it even better. Or it looks like you took it and made it even better, because it's just really stands out. Love the colors. I like how it includes so many valuable assets of the city, but very simple and clean. And actually, I want to commend you on making a great presentation. It's hard putting together a good PowerPoint, and, all the animation that you included and pointing things out. I think you did it. Whoever made that PowerPoint did a really, really, really good job.
I'll be sure to thank them.
And but yeah, thank you for the presentation. Love it.
To the chair.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks, Greg. Can you go back to that slide that showed the two together, our old and our new? Yeah. Instantly, when I saw this, I thought, wow, how bright the one we have right to the left. I like just the crisp colors and how bright it is. And if maybe we could enhance a little bit more brightness to the new logo. And I'm like Mayor too. It's kind of hard to let go of something that we've had for so long. And you're absolutely right, our council here on the dais, that with the new city hall, with a new civic center, how better than to introduce and implement a new logo. So that's my only spill. Maybe when we see it put on letterhead and more, we could have some fine gold or something more.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
That could be a little bit more brighter. I just hope that whatever we implement, folks don't steal it. I don't know if you know, but there's a lot of cities that have been, copper is a big thing, and they've been stealing a lot of copper. They've stole from our city hall here. We had all of our plaques have been taken, stolen. So, I just, I hope that will come to a stop. But good work, truly impressed with all of it. So thank you so much.
To the chair.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Yes.
Let me ask, do we need to make a motion to move forward with the, with the logo, or or what do we need? Resolution?
Technically, it's not on the agenda for an action.
So we could bring it back?
Yeah, we should bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back as a resolution or an ordinance, so we can vote on it, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's give them a big round of applause and a thank you. Do we have a presentation from the PD? Or is that, we're supposed, yes.
Our new, is it Lieutenant?
Distracted
For
Driving
tracking?
Awareness Month.
Dana.
You're gonna talk to us about that. Thank you.
Yeah, I think she's new traffic division.
I've been looking at your.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, esteemed council, elected officials, city manager. Thank you for having us here. April is National Distracted Driving Month, so that is why we're here tonight. There's a quick video that was put on by the Office of Traffic Safety in California, and that will explain distracted driving. There we go. Since April 3rd through tomorrow night, it's Distracted Driving National Enforcement Mobilization. So basically, that means we're definitely targeting people who are driving while distracted. Since last Wednesday, within less than a 12-hour period, we've already issued over 30 citations for distracted driving. And they're not weak, they are fully enforceable, fully recorded violations. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, also called NHTSA, started this campaign this month of put the phone away or pay, because basically using your phone while you're driving can kill someone. Officer Santos Jimenez will explain the fines.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, if you get a citation for the first offense, it is $20 plus the penalties and assessments by the court. So it ends up being about $148. For the second offense, you'll have to pay $50 plus penalties and assessments. It's close to $300. In addition, if you're involved in a traffic collision because of this and because you were distracted, the only issue with it is the fact that your insurance is going to go up, and more than likely you're going to be found at fault. If you get a citation within a second citation within 3 years, then that will be a point on your driver's license, which in essence means you have to go to traffic school in order to get rid of that point on your license.
Distracted driving is dangerous, but some people just can't seem to help themselves. There's the steering wheel propper, the sneak-a-peeker, the fast roller, the nightlighter. And it's not long until they become the fender benderer, the got a ticketer, the veering off the road, the driver who kills someone. Enough with the phones already. Just put them down. Distract.
In the year 2022, 3,308 people were killed, with an additional estimated amount of 289,310 people injured in motor vehicle traffic crashes, all involving distracted drivers. The bottom line to all this, distracted driving is preventable.
And just to piggyback on that, I've been a traffic officer for 10 years and responded to so many traffic collisions, at which point a lot of the drivers involved were actually telling me that, yeah, they were using the cell phone. It took 1 second to look at the phone. As they looked up, the car was in front of them and they couldn't prevent the collision. So a lot of the times when drivers are involved in accidents, they won't tell you that they were using the phone. So the numbers are pretty skewed, even though there's still thousands of numbers in traffic collisions that were caused by a distracted driver.
Thank you, and drive safely, California.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for the presentation. But I have some questions, and you guys are not gonna like me after this. Santos. This is a serious question. You have many people who pick up the phone. Those ones I saw right there were people that had their phone in their hand. But then you also have the people who have it mounted here, Uber drivers. You constantly see them when you're driving in their cars, and they're looking at this, accepting a ride while they're driving, etc. What's the difference? We need to define it. Why are those not as dangerous? I personally think they're equally as dangerous, sometimes even more, because you have to lean in to access that.
Yes, they are. So the section basically covers, there's different sections that the vehicle code applies to. So most of the sections cover you holding the cell phone when it's not hands-free. So let's just say, for example, if you put it on a little pedestal and you tap it once in a while, per legislation, that's not so bad as you holding the cell phone. The reason being is if the phone's on a holder and you're looking at it, more than likely you're going to be looking in a straightforward direction towards the front of the vehicle versus looking down at the cell phone. So what a lot of drivers do, because of the fact that they know it's against the law to use a cell phone while they're driving, most of them, when I see the violations, they're looking down at the phone. That's what creates the biggest problem, not by the phone being on a holder. Even though it should still be, if you're looking, put it this way, if you're looking at the phone and you're FaceTiming someone, that's a violation. That's just looking at a TV on your stereo system. So in essence, if it's not hands-free, that creates a violation for you.
But the simple fact that you have it on the holder allows for the possibility of that to happen. Shouldn't that be banned in itself?
They pitched it to legislation, and so far they haven't changed it. So hopefully at some point, every violation that you get on your cell phone, and that's me hoping, will be a point on your license, so that deters people from using the phone while driving.
Yeah. Okay. No, I just kind of always wondered that, because it's like, it just seems it's equally, or it's not. It increases the risk by dramatically for being able to do that. So, and I've seen my drivers swerve and do certain things, and so I guess it's something to be aware of as well. Just be safe out there.
Yes, sir.
Through the chair.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amy. Santos. Because to tell you the truth, sometimes all of us do that, right? So it's good to bring us to our attention, because we see that all the time on our streets. So it's good to bring it up to attention to the people, because when you talk about 3,000 lives lost, that's a lot of lives lost. So distracted driving, it is a problem, to tell you the truth. So I'm glad that I see some penalties, even the other day we have a workshop at the Morris Center that some of the ladies are saying that $50 not enough. It's not enough because it is much more addictable because of the cellular phones. And it's much more accidents happen that can potentially kill someone. And they said $50, and they're going to be lobbying Sacramento to change for even more fines than $50. So, and I agree with that because we see that every day. People on the cell phone, I know the people honking, they're just very distracted. So thank you to bring to our attention because I think we should put this on our website for people to click on it and learn about the distracting drivers. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, real quick, I'd like to make even a bigger suggestion is that we have the digital billboards. Could we do something, even if it's past this week, can we do it at least for a week's worth of time where we flash this warning? Somebody designs that and puts that up? How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, because I think it's,
yeah, okay, that's awesome.
prevents loss of lives.
Yes, we're also going to have the press release put on the city website as well as our social media. So we are trying to get the word out as much as possible throughout April.
To the chair.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your presentation, and I just want to make mention that I was hit from behind on the Harbor 110 freeway, and we were at a standstill. So it was a pretty hard hit, and thank goodness that the folks surrounding me pulled to the side, and they were witnesses and said he was on his cell phone. And it was a hard hit because it was, like you said, before you know it, you're up on a car. And the worst thing about that is not only are you driving while texting, no motor vehicle insurance, right? You have no insurance, and you're in a big car accident. I was left to have to pay for all of that at the end of the day. So uninsured motor vehicle insurance is important too. But I've been watching the advertisement on TV, the same one you're showing. It's been playing on TV regularly, so thank you for acknowledging. It is April Awareness Month, and if there's something that we could do to help prevent this, we're all for it. And good suggestions. Anything, use our jumbo electronic signs and things like this. But yeah, even at coming into the city, warning them that we're watching you. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Okay, thank you. I have a last presentation for the evening. We have the National DMV Donate. It's the National DMV Donate Life Month. So we do have a proclamation. Are the members here? Oh, there she is. There they are. Come on up to the podium. Just if you kind of can quickly summarize, like what this means and how important it is.
What does it mean? That's a full-loaded thing. I'm sorry, I'm nervous, but good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Council Member, and the rest of the committee.
Why is it so important?
My dad. I wrote myself a note not to cry, but obviously I'm not following my own advice.
Don't cry. We support you. Go ahead.
So my dad passed away 4 years ago, but right before he passed away, my dad was the kind of person who wouldn't leave things for last minute. And he was afraid of the cops. He was like, no, I need to. So my parents had just moved. And my dad was the kind of person, he's like, no, I moved. I need to change my address. I need to update my information because I'm going to get in trouble. So there I am with the U-Haul truck with my dad. We pull into the DMV, and the DMV employee asks if he would like to donate his organs. So my dad says, no, that's not for me. So I told him real quick, forget the 30-second elevator pitch. It was more like a 2-second, get him back in line. What are you going to do with your organs once you pass away? So he agreed. Then the DMV lady said, would you like to make the $2 donation for administrative fees? And my dad said, wait a minute. You want my money and my organs? Pick one. So I told the lady, I was like, you know what? I'll pay for the administrative fees. I'll pay for his license. Let's just get him signed up. That was in October. Fast forward to December 29th, 2019. I told myself not to cry. My dad had a stroke and a heart attack in my car. I had to take him out of my car, give him CPR, call EMS, do all that. Finally, EMS showed up, took him to the emergency room. He was sent to critical care, but my dad wasn't gonna make it, and he was not gonna forgive us for keeping him around on artificial means. So since my dad and I had already made the decision to put him on the organ donation list, the decision was made to donate his organs. And on January 2nd, 2020, good old 2020, my dad was able to donate both his kidneys and his liver. His pancreas went to Loma Linda University for research. And so before this, I mean, organ donation was in the back of my mind. Yes, the pink dot in my license as soon as I got my driver's license, but I never really thought about the ripple effect. And so as an ambassador for One Legacy for Donate Life, I get to meet people that have received organs, families that are waiting for that hope, for that miracle, for that organ-saving phone call. And so it kind of validates and it kind of gives me a sense of peace knowing that yes, my dad did pass away, but at the same time, he saved 3 lives. And because of that one life, 3 families didn't have to go through what we were going through. So thank you, City of Hawthorne. Thank you for acknowledging the importance of organ donation. And to piggyback from them, if you're gonna drive and be on your cell phone, make sure you sign up to be an organ donor, because
Wow.
someone's gonna need you one day. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a proclamation on behalf of the City Council signed by all my colleagues and myself. And it has a lot of information about National DMV Donate Life Month. So I'll just go ahead and read it. Organ, eye, tissue, marrow, and blood donation are life-giving acts recognized worldwide as expressions of compassion for those in need. More than 110,000 individuals nationwide and more than 23,000 in California are currently on the National Organ Transplant waiting list. And on average, 22 people die each day while waiting. The need for donated organs is especially urgent in Hispanic, Latino, and African American communities. A single individual's donation of the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, pancreas, and small intestine can save up to 8 lives. Donations of tissue can save and heal the lives of more than 75 others. Of course, you know all these things, right? In fact, organ donors saved more than 46,000 lives last year, the most ever, 46,000. Any person can register to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor regardless of age or medical condition. Being a registered donor does not impact the quality of life-saving medical care a person receives in an emergency. Whereas California residents can sign up with Donate Life California Donor Registry online at any time by visiting www.donatelifecalifornia.org, or for Spanish speakers, www.donevidacalifornia.org. California residents can sign up to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor when applying for renewing their driver's license or ID cards at the California Department of Motor Vehicles. California residents are interested in saving a life through through a kidney donation may visit www.livingdonation.california.org. So you know all this stuff, and all of it's true, right?
It is true. And there's an easier way to.
Tell us.
Yes. So if you're an iPhone owner and you go to the health app, you can just click on organ donation.
Awesome. So this is the fancy part. On behalf of the City Council, therefore, be it resolved that in recognition of National Donate Life Month, the month of April 2024 is hereby proclaimed DMV Donate Life Month in the city of Hawthorne in memory of your father and all those who have donated and all those who have been blessed with a gift of an organ donation that has saved their lives. In doing so, we encourage all Californians to check yes online or when applying for renewing their driver's license or ID card at the DMV. This has been proclaimed the 9th day of April 2024.
Thank you.
We would like to join you if you could join us to take a picture, and then there might be some comments from my council colleagues.
Sure.
Is that fine?
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
And then 3, 2, 1, and 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
To the chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I just want to acknowledge you being here on behalf of the organization National DMV Donate Life. Condolences to you and your family, and great to meet your daughter. No, that's a very telling story that you gave. It's a personal story. Thank you for giving us that information. Makes us want to think about it, right?
Definitely.
But
so yes, and unfortunately, it's something that we don't think about until we're on the waiting list end.
Right.
So hopefully nobody has to be on that list before the decision is made.
Right.
And hopefully your grieving family doesn't have to make that decision for you in critical care. So sign up.
I hear you. I am part of that. I do have the pink dot. I can't even remember when that dot was on there, considering the 40 years I've lived here in Hawthorne. So it goes back very, very far. But thank you for your presentation. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Ben, for being here.
Thank you.
Okay. Go. Oral communications, please.
Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.3, all remarks should be addressed to the City Council as a body and not to any individual council member. During oral communications, speakers shall have 3 minutes to state their business. The Brown Act prohibits the City Council from providing a detailed response or acting upon any items not contained on the agenda. The governing bodies as a body shall have the discretion at the close of oral communications to refer any remarks to the city manager for study, investigation, report, and/or recommendation.
Hi. Mr. City Manager, do you have some of those forms available in case we need them?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Sergeant Arms has those available in
Awesome.
the back
Thank
if
you.
needed. Thank you.
Just in case anybody comes in. Dina and Andrew, Wilkie neighbors. 11818. Wilkie?
Regarding that property, can I get this right? Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and City Council members. We were here earlier last month or 2 months ago, giving gratitude to our City Councilwoman, Katrina Manning, and we also want to continue that. The property at 11818 is a vacant property. There is a woman that owns it, but we're having an issue with her doing whatever she needs to do to get rid of the property. We recently was told that cars will be removed from the property. There's 3 abandoned cars. That's a big eyesore. And 1 car was removed today, we found out. So they had until yesterday to remove, and then the city would get more involved starting today. It's more than just the cars that need to be moved. It's a big eyesore for our community. We're afraid for the homeless to come there, but we'll continue to work with our city councilwoman and the city attorney, assistant city attorney's office, but we needed to vent that. Most recently, though, was one of the second issues, our concerns on that paper, and that is the speeding on 119th Street. And one of our neighbors who isn't here, but Dario is here also representing the video that I didn't get a chance to show you, where someone must have been doing about 50, 60 miles an hour, turned on Wilkie, and hit for the second time the neighbor's van that is parked on that corner. She has children. Thank God there's a fence around her house, because if her children were playing, then they would have been hit. There's a daycare house right there as well. And if children are outside, those children would have been hit. It's an easy fix, maybe, maybe not. Speed bumps, like on 116th, that were implemented, and I think Katrina Manning did that herself before becoming a city councilwoman. So we're asking, we're begging, we're pleading. They're doing donuts on that street now. We're pleading for speed bumps on 119th Street. And something that isn't as, it's a concern, but not as drastic as the speeding, is the trash in our community. Andrew and his wife and their dog walk the community daily, and he sees it constantly. So that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
The light is on.
Sir, can you reset that? If you want to speak, sir, you could continue on your own time. Are you good? You just have to join. You have to. She's gonna reset it. You get time, or you could just line up right there.
I also echo what Dana said as a member of the community. I appreciate everything you guys are doing. But I have noticed other cities have a city representative. I mean, someone who would be able to pick up the trash in the neighborhoods. I can't tell you every day I'm driving around, whether it's Inglewood or Hawthorne, and you just see people throwing the trash out the window. Living in other cities in my life, people actually get tickets for littering, throwing things out the window. The fine was actually pretty significant. And I'd just like that to be monitored a little bit better. But also, the speed bumps, I think, are a danger to the community, and I would like those to be put in.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks.
I mean, also, we invite the community members, if you know that there's some perpetrators in your own neighborhood who are doing this, please let us know, and then we'll take whatever investigations we have to do to find out more information and hold them liable for that.
Yeah, that's the trash. Yeah.
But thank you. Sometimes we don't want to call like on our neighbors, but you know, we have to just do it discreetly so that the problems will stop, right? Okay. Herminia Balboa, Park and Rec Commission, Art Show. Can you please pass this on?
Good evening, City Council members, staff, citizens. I just came to remind you about the art show that is this coming Thursday at 6 p.m. at the Memorial Center. We have a lot of the schools from the Hawthorne School District participating. We have dancers, we have music. We invite the kids to participate. We have a table, and we'll have crayons, and we have things for them to express themselves. We're really happy if you can make it, and we're really honored to have your support. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else wishing to address the City Council? Please line up at this moment. Thank you. Hi.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members, and the residents of Hawthorne. I just wanted to share that Senator Bradford and his office are celebrating Earth Day by hosting his annual Earth Day cleanup event. So that's going to be April 26th, that's a Friday, so that's 3 Fridays from now, from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. And it's going to be on the I-105 on and off ramp at Crenshaw Boulevard. So we just wanted to invite the residents of Hawthorne. I know some have issues with the trash, so hopefully we'd see you out there to help the senator and his office help pick up trash and make Hawthorne a cleaner and safer place. And just, we appreciate it if you could RSVP with us so that our partners in Caltrans will know how many equipment and safety vests and tools and whatnot to supply for the event. So we hope to see you there, and kindly call our office at 310-412-6120. We'll make sure to RSVP for you. Again, my name is Jasmine Leon Guerrero, and if anybody has any other issues in the community with anything, please feel free to call our office and we would be of assistance to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Our greetings to the senator, please. So is that it, or do we have somebody else? Okay, I thought you were going outside, man. But okay, yeah, sounds good. Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council, City staff, and neighbors. I just have a really quick question. On item 16, the Housing Authority Housing Choice Voucher Program annual plan, I would like to know who makes those decisions. Is it a commission? And also, I wanted to know specifically what is the percentage of AMI required in the city of Hawthorne in order to be able to get a voucher. I found out relatively recently that all of the city housing authorities set their own AMI limits, and this is the first time I've known that. The reason it's particularly important right now, you may have been listening to the news today and know that LA Mayor Bass is going to be leading a delegation of 40-plus mayors. I don't know if you're involved in that or not, at the end of the month to go to DC and lobby, because one of the problems that homeless veterans have is that their disability payments frequently put them above the limit, the ceiling limit on the AMI, and they're not able to get into housing as a result. So if that's something that we can change in the city of Hawthorne, I would like to urge you to look into that and see if you can work it so that disability payments for disabled veterans are not counted as income in figuring AMI eligibility for vouchers. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anybody else? If not, I declare oral communications closed, so ordered. Your consent calendar, Madam Clerk?
Mr. Mayor, I have 5 items on the consent calendar. They're items 6 through 10 for your consideration and approval. Item 6, approval of waiver of full readings of resolutions and or ordinances on tonight's agenda. Item 7, City Treasurer requests approval of the warrants for April 9th, 2024. Item 8, Resolution Number 8455, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, supporting Assembly Bill 1869. Item 9, Resolution Number 8456, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, calling and giving notice of a general municipal election to be held in the City of Hawthorne for the election of certain officers consolidated with the statewide general election scheduled for Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, and requesting that the Board of Supervisors issue instructions to the registrar, recorder, to take any and all steps necessary for the holding of the consolidated election. Item 10, Resolution Number 8457, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Hawthorne, California, proclaiming April 2024 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month and Wednesday, April 24th, 2024 as Denim Day in Hawthorne for adoption.
I make a motion.
Second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
The city manager's consent calendar. Madam Clerk, can you read items 11 through 17, please?
Item 11, progress payment number 10 in the amount of $393,765,050. $393,765.50 due to Ellignor Belco Electric of Chino, California, for Highway Safety Improvement Project Traffic Signal Upgrade and Reconstruction, 120th Street Improvement Project, Prairie Avenue to Felton Avenue, project number 21-06. Item 12, progress payment number 5 in the amount of $625,347.57 due to Gerbcon, Inc. of Baldwin Park, California for Sewer and Main Miscellaneous Storm Drain Improvement Project 2023, project number 23-04. Item 13, progress payment number 2 in the amount of $494,656.57 due to Sequel Contractors of Santa Fe Springs, California for Northeast Hawthorne Mobility Improvement Project, project number 21-05. Item 14, progress payment number 3 in the amount of $319,298.27 due to Classic Engineering and Construction, Inc. of Orange, California for Hawthorne Housing Rehabilitation of City-Owned Properties 2023, project number 23-09. Item 15, progress payment number 1 in the amount of $31,682.50 due to Martinez Landscape. Item 16, Housing Authority Housing Choice Voucher Program 2024-2025 Annual Plan. Item 17, agreement between the City of Hawthorne and Kaufman Associates Incorporated for providing on-call planning consulting services at the Hawthorne Municipal Airport. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city manager's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve items 11 through 17?
Can we, to the chair,
Yes.
can we pull 16 and 17 for discussion?
All right.
I move on the others.
Second on item 11 through 15. Is that consistent?
Correct. Thank you.
All right. Please vote on items 11 through 15.
The votes are in.
Okay.
The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Okay. Discussion 16.
So for 16, I noticed that it says the approval of 20 vouchers, and I wanted to know how can we get more vouchers? And I know it says that agency decides the vouchers, but can you tell me how is that decided that we only get 20 vouchers?
Which program are you referring to? I'm sorry.
Number 16, the Housing Authority Housing Choice Voucher Program for 24-25. It said that we were approved for only 20 vouchers. So I'm just wondering, how can we get more vouchers, or how is it decided that we only get 20 vouchers?
So I have to check on the 20 vouchers. The Housing Authority has 726 vouchers. We recently received an additional 23 vouchers from HUD when they had additional vouchers available that they spread out over all PHAs, or public housing authorities within the state of California. So HUD determines how many vouchers you receive. And based on how they're used is based on the funding that they provide us with. It's either use all the funding or use all of the vouchers. So if your funding exceeds the number of vouchers that you have, then generally you can use all of your vouchers. However, if it's the opposite and your vouchers exceed more than the funding you have, then you use less than the vouchers that you're allotted.
So we already used up our vouchers and we have 20 additional vouchers?
There's no 20 additional vouchers. That's why I'm trying to get an understanding of the 20 vouchers that you're referring to.
Well, in the packet that was with number 16, it says approval of 20 vouchers. So I'm trying to understand how many vouchers do we have, and did we get 20 additional vouchers? Did we get approved for just only 20 vouchers, or we had 700 vouchers? I'm trying to understand, how can we have more than 20 vouchers? So are you telling me we have more than 20 vouchers? Please explain, because
Again, we have 726 vouchers in the PHA program. If you're referring to the annual plan, then you're probably referring to the note that I made about housing 20 families for this upcoming fiscal year, pulling from the wait list to assist potentially 20 to 40 families for this year based on the funding that's available.
That's the Section 8, right?
Correct. That's the
Section
Housing
8.
Choice Voucher Program.
So that's the 20 families that you were able to house.
Correct, that's our goal, right?
Okay, okay.
So we have 726 vouchers in the program.
So 726, and then aside to that is the newly, that you recognize, the 20 families that were eligible for the Section 8.
So it's not that they're eligible for Section 8, it's the goal to pull them from our wait list.
How long is the wait list?
The wait list has been going on since 2007.
Yeah. Yeah, I know in Los Angeles, it's over 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in here, it says the agency has approved 20 new owners for the Section 8 program during this reporting period.
So that's separate from vouchers. Those are new owners who have opted into the program to house our families. So those are people who own the apartment buildings and own the houses that we sign leases for.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Sir.
Thank you. We've had some conversations with affordable housing developers over the years, and all of them have talked about wanting project-based vouchers. Is that possible to use these 20 or whatever new allotment we have towards a potential project-based voucher program?
So there's no new allotment, just to be very clear about it. It's the same allotment that we've had for years. You can pull vouchers from your allotted amount, your allocated amount for PBB, but you get no additional funding from it from HUD. So it's what you have. So you're separating or you're taking funding from the Section 8 program to create a new program and assist for a project-based building where the assistance is only at that building, not with the individuals where they can take it with them wherever they go. It only stays at that building. And yes, it's possible to do.
And you're saying we have 726 vouchers, and were we allotted any new ones recently, or this is just talking about what we're doing with the 726?
This is just talking about what we're doing to 726.
Do we get more at any given time?
It's very rare that HUD has the funding to provide more because the federal government doesn't generally give HUD more funding every year. So it's rare. We did get, like I said, 23 vouchers last year, but before that, it was over 20 years before they gave new vouchers.
So last year we had 23 additional?
Yes.
Got it. And how many usually come in or are turned over where we could choose to hold and apply to a project on an annual basis? Like how often?
Well, it's based on your availability, like I said. So if you have 726 vouchers, however, you're leasing up 568 families and you used all your funding, then those vouchers are available if there's no funding to house them. So they're there, but you don't want your project or your PHA to go into a shortfall because you've over-leased. So you have to be mindful of that balance of where you're at with your assistance to your tenants and your HAP assistance to the owners. And you have to plan ahead for that. So if you're going to do a PBB building, then you need to plan for that at least 2 years ahead of time so that you can make sure there's enough funding in the pot for it.
So you're saying that although we may have 726 vouchers able to give out, we may not be using all of them because of the funding may be encumbered by less vouchers. Right? We may only need 300 vouchers to spend all the money that we get for the program.
Well, that would be a stretch, but
I'm
yes,
just making up a number.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And you're saying if we wanted to do a project-based voucher program, something we need to plan that in advance, a few years in advance to kind of do that strategically.
Right, because you also have the administrative aspect of having to deal with that project. That's a whole nother project. So you need staffing to deal with the caseload of the management of the PVV.
Awesome. All right, thank you.
Oh, that's a lot of information, Kimberly. But what's good to know, what's good to know here is that there are 20 new owners that have property that have opted in to leasing out, renting out their units for Section 8 families. So there's in other words, 20 new properties are in agreement to receive Section 8 to house people, residents of Hawthorne. That's a plus. Thank you.
And the other thing to keep in mind, so the way that we receive money from HUD, CDBG, and the home funds is based on census, right? So census is coming, 2030, and they already start sending emails because if we don't count 100% of our population, then they have the formula. They only give us money based on 56% of the people that was counted in Hawthorne. So that is why we don't have a lot of money to give up because it's based on the census that was done in 2020, and I think it was about 67% of people of Hawthorne answered the survey so we're losing 43% in a sense of funding because we didn't get 100% count.
Yeah. You'd be surprised families don't want to give their personal information. And they're intimidated by, filling out a form, someone knocking at your door and asking how many people live in your home. And that's basically what happens. And a lot of folks don't want to provide that information, but it hurts us as an agency. Thank you, Kimberly.
And it hurt us for 10 years.
Yeah.
All right. I make a motion.
Thank you.
On 16.
Oh, well, we still have 17 too.
Second. Motion and second.
16?
On
Motion
16.
by Councilmember Montero, second by myself. Please vote on 16.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Okay. 17, discussion.
So for 17, I just wanted to find out the consulting services. It says the master plan, exactly what will the consulting services provide for us?
Good evening, Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem and Council meeting. This consultant prepare us environmental category exemption and no study, and basically when we apply for grant to FAA, they help us for evaluate the project.
Thank you.
Okay. I make a motion.
Second.
Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Okay. City Attorney's calendar. Ms. City Clerk.
Item 18, claim for damages from Jessica Nieves. Recommended motion, deny the claim of Jessica Nieves. Item 19, claim of Juan Razo. Recommended motion, deny the claim of Juan Razo. Mr. Mayor, that concludes the city's attorney's consent calendar. May I have a motion to approve items 18 and 19?
I make a motion. Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Thank you. Discussion action items, charter provisions, timeline for ballot measure. Councilmember Alex Montero.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The reason that I brought this item up is for us to decide if we want to put this manager on the ballot again in 2024 or delay it until a future date. I understand, the people of Hawthorne did vote no on the charter in 2020 because of the salary that was put on that provision, right? And I heavily campaigned against it to vote no because of the salary, because I didn't believe that the part-time council member should be getting $75,000 a year. Now, the charter, when you become a charter city, there is some benefit to the whole community. It's not just the council member, okay? We're talking about issues that deals with economic development and some other potential benefit, because as you know, for these past 4 years, we have a governor and the legislature in Sacramento that are passing a lot of laws to intervene with our local authority, especially on housing issues, like, for example, that they're passing laws that we could build buildings on Holly Park, apartment in Holly Glen. So all of those type of provision that we as a general law city cannot stop the state, and we would have to abide on it. Let's say if a developer comes and say, okay, I have this property in Holly Glen or Holly Park, I want to build, 20 apartment unit. The planning department and the city could say no, but then they can sue us and they say the state have allowed us to do it. And then it's out of our hands. So that is the kind of things that we try to prevent. If you become a charter city, we can stop. We do not have to abide by this general law city that is dictated by California law and the legislature. I understand that the people vote no, but again, the charter city is a good thing for any city to become a charter city. So I just want to find out to my colleagues if we have the majority to go ahead to get an attorney or consultant to read what we wrote in 2020 and maybe rewrite the new ballot language that maybe the people who Hawthorne can vote yes. But we need to decide here on this diets if that's what we want to go forward, or we want to postpone it, or we want to wait until later day. So because time is running short. So I'll stop by there and ask my colleagues to say their piece.
Through the chair, I understand that we have a limited amount of time to agree on a provision. And so definitely in the interest of time, I would support working with a consultant to help put something together for the city, for the council to vote on. And I think it's a good idea to listen to the people and not include the compensation, which, was the reason why it got voted down.
The only way there could be a proposition on any ballot is that you get a majority vote, and majority vote is 3. It would be good to see a full council support with regards to moving the city forward in a direction in which we're trying to do. We have a new city hall. We have new endeavors. Our city is growing out. There are things that we are tied hands on that we have no leverage. There are local control trying to be, unfortunately, we don't necessarily have local control in the predicament that we're in today as a general law city. Charter city has many different benefits. We had a list that was provided to us that showed many South Bay cities and cities in California in general that showed that their general law cities have changed to charter city for those reasons. So I had a little conversation with a few constituents on charter versus general law, and the only reason that it went on the ballot in 2020 was for it to see what the people said. There's things in there that some folks might not agree to, but at the end of the day, they are the voter, and they do their civic, engagement and get knowledgeable. However, there's a lot of naysayers and there's a lot of misrepresented information that is put out there that is targeted to individuals, which is not fair. Because if you really want to know more, you could go to any city that has the language for a charter city and see how some of those cities have been able to do things that otherwise we're not able to do. So I would like to see ultimately a charter city so that we could, get a hold of our city and not be tied to some of the things that we're not allowed to do currently. That's one of my reasons. And if, again, the majority of the council sees it the same way, I don't see why it couldn't move forward.
So, to the chair.
Yeah.
So therefore, since it seems like we might have an agreement, so should Mr.
Can we
City
put
Attorney,
this to a vote, please?
Should we vote to move forward?
Sure. Let's be very specific as to what we're proposing to vote on. I understand there's at least three council members in support of putting a charter measure on the next election ballot measure. But I've also heard hiring a consultant for that purpose. So is that included on what you're all agreeing to?
Let's put this to a vote that people can see up on the screen.
Okay, so that's what I'm
Can
asking.
we be clear on what we're voting for?
Yes.
Because for me, it's two different things.
You want to go ahead? What's the?
Well, he said to get a consultant.
Let me restate it. So what my purpose is to make sure that we have a vote to move forward for ballot measure for November 5th, 2024. If so, I would love for us to hire a consultant, it's an attorney that would guide us on that ballot measure language, so that we could have a future study session, city council study session, where the people in Hawthorne can come in and voice their opinion, and then we'd have to have a second public hearing to approve that language. So that is what my motion is about, before we can finally say we're going to put on the ballot.
To the chair. I'm just wondering, the language that we previously had was what you said, to use the previous language, and I'm wondering why our city attorney can't draft that language with the previous language as opposed to hiring a consultant.
It has to be revised. It has to be revised because the language was not acceptable to the people of Hawthorne.
Right,
so we
but
want to
can our-
make sure that the language is clear and exactly what is going to say, so people will have a much better understanding. So we do not want to put the same thing in there. So we
Right.
want to be revised because it's going to be a new language, and we, like I said, in the past, I oppose it, but then this time I'm going to support it, right? To make sure that the language is correct and make sure that it's going to be a civil right or is a power to the people, not to this council member.
Sure.
So we have our
Yeah.
city attorney. Why don't we just have him do it? You guys are going to instruct him anyway, depending on your.
Through the chair.
No, hold on. Just the thought. I mean, she makes a good point. He's very well and capable. You guys can instruct him on what you guys want. Why would we have to pay someone else?
But
That's
he's
just
not-
extra money.
He's not an expert on that.
Our city attorney is not capable and competent to do this?
Go ahead, Mr. Kim.
He's going to say
Through
anything you
through
want
the chair.
at this point. So go ahead.
Okay.
No, let's have him answer.
So the issue is this. So I've heard, and I did a presentation, we had somebody else come and do the same presentation. The bottom line is does the council have specific language that they want in the charter provision? It seems that you're seeking a consultant to give you recommendation and suggestion as to what language you want. I can't figure out if we're going to adopt and put on the ballot measure the same language as the last charter provision, with the exception of the salary, that can be done simply. But to me, I don't have an understanding of what council wants. There seems to be a consensus that we want to limit the state's control of local issues. That's the legal issue, and that's not that clear. It's just because you're a charter city doesn't mean that the local cities will have control over housing issues, because California Supreme Court has already ruled that housing is a statewide concern. So it doesn't matter if you're a charter city or a general law city. I think the question is, and what I'm confused about is, what specific language is the council that's seeking charter want as a provision other than the salary?
The one thing that the thing that kind of I was kind of a bit, I don't know, was just confused and kind of stunned was that you gave a presentation on the pros and cons of being a charter city to the council, yet it seems like somebody, at least on the council, instructed you to bring somebody else to do an alternate presentation on the pros and cons. I mean, do the council trust our city attorney to be able to give us this information, do this, or not? I mean, is hiring a consultant a result of maybe you not trusting our city attorney?
It's not about trust, Mr. Mayor. We trust, I have 110% trust on Mr. Robert King. The thing is, we need to make sure that, and that is what I want him and somebody else to come up with the language and bring it to us on a study session of the city council to present that to us and to the public, so the public can put the input on that. So if he told me he can do it, I'll say fine. But I know that the city attorney have some other duties to do, so I don't want to put all this into his plate. And I think maybe there is some language there that could be improved, and that's what I'm looking for.
To the chair.
One more last thing. Would it be that it's you're suggesting the consultant that was here that did the presentation? The one that.
I'm not suggesting nobody.
Could it be magically he's going to appear? The one that has done work for the city of Carson?
I didn't say nobody.
Okay.
Somebody, I said.
Right, go ahead.
A consultant.
To the chair. I suggest that we further discuss this in a closed session.
No, we cannot discuss it.
Can we do that?
No, cannot.
Through
It
the
has
chair.
to be in an open session. And let me just say this, because, I've been a city attorney for 3 years, and I don't profess to be an expert on every topic. There are topics that I am very familiar with. Ballot measure and charter is a new area. So I'm not going to say and represent to you. In fact, when we first brought that ballot measure 2 years ago, we used a law firm, a reputable law firm, Richard Watson Gershon, that the city has always relied on for municipal law to give guidance to the council. And basically, we approach with a simple charter. It appears that and it really doesn't matter to me if the city council wants to select another consultant to help us with the charter provision. I don't have personal stake in this. However, I think whoever it may be, I don't think the consultant should recommend this is what City of Hawthorne should adopt in the charter provision, because this charter is a restriction, it's a constitution, it's a restriction of authority on city council itself. Okay, because it's above the ordinance, it's like the city's constitution. So this should be something, in my personal opinion, if I may, it should be something that the council has a certain idea and concept of what we want in the charter before we hire a consultant that's going to dictate to us, to the council, as to what should be in the charter. That's my opinion on things. So it doesn't matter if you want to hire a consultant to give you recommendations, but there should be some idea from the council of what kind of charter provision you want. We did have a simple charter from 2 years ago. There were provisions in there.
So I think council members should already have an idea what they would like to place on the charter. So why not discuss that today?
So to the chair.
Yes.
So what are we asking for right now to vote on?
Well, see, the thing is, that is what I want, a study session. I don't know if you guys understand what a study session is. A study session is because we cannot do this in the closed session.
Sure.
We have to do a study session where all of us will be present, open to the public to come and do public comments. And then that is where we would, whatever going to give us advice, it could be Mr. Kim, it could be somebody else, and then we can say, no, we do, as a council member, we don't agree on this. So then we would discuss what is going to be that language on an open study session of a city council meeting that will have all of us here present, with the public comes to put the input, that we would begin to draft the language.
So to the chair. So I'm saying, my question is, what are we voting on tonight, like right now, to move forward?
Can I
Okay.
please, through the
Oh,
chair,
no,
I'm sorry.
uh,
I was going to say, can
David.
Councilmember Patterson,
thank you.
please? I'm like, poor guy, he's been sitting there for a minute.
Be patient, thank you.
Okay.
Whenever we ask our city manager any questions, he's sometimes the one that answers those questions. Sometimes he's not the one that answers those questions. Usually the route that we take is the subject matter expert will advise the council and give us our options, and then we'll make a decision based upon that, right? Mr. Kim has indicated this is not his area of expertise. He hired a outside firm last time who it's debatable what their area of expertise. The presentations that we saw about the charter made it very evident about areas of expertise on this particular topic. I think it's a great idea to find a subject matter expert where this is what they do, as opposed to somebody that does a lot of stuff, right? You know, when it comes to our health, we want to get our foot operated on. You're probably not going to depend solely on a general practitioner, but you're going to go to a podiatrist. And so I think it's a good idea to get a subject matter expert to provide guidance to the council so the council can make the decisions and vote and move forward. So I support Mr. Montero's, Councilmember Montero's suggestion of moving forward with a charter proposal for the council to vote on, utilizing study sessions, utilizing a professional consultant to help us do so.
To the chair. Thank you, Mayor. So I would like to just add to that with regards to finding a consultant. I'd like the city manager and to instruct the city manager to do that. My reasoning for not so much supporting or having the current city attorney do it is for the same, reason. There's, there could be bias, there could be, things that maybe, again, not familiar with, not quite experienced, okay? I know he's a great prosecutor, but at the end of the day, I think independence is very important. And some of the attorneys that we've had suggested from the attorney's office are ongoing recommendations that have long longevity here. I mean, it's like the same name over and over and over and over again. I enjoy that entity, working with those entities, but for as long as I've been here and as long as some of these recommended, councils, outside counsel, it's just good to have new, fresh information, especially if there's cities that are charters and they've used certain consultants or they've implemented certain things. I would like for the study session to take place, absolutely. But more importantly, I want to do a feasibility or a study from all of the charter cities to see what languages are in their current charter, what types of things that were implemented in their language. So that's a lot of work and that's a lot of time. And I really doubt that, there's that time available to do that currently. So I would agree and further just support going forward.
So, so I made the motion, so Mr. Patterson second, right?
I'll second it.
Please vote.
The votes are in. The voting reflects council voting yes. Mr. Mayor votes no.
Thank you. So I guess now it's the appropriate moment for me to make my council, because my comments, I guess the community and the residents saw that we already had a majority that was willing to support this. It was very clear, and that's pretty concerning to me and you, the residents. Comments were made today that there were naysayers, that there was naysayers who have been putting information out there. 18 months ago, 61% of the residents voted against this, 61% to 39. We're coming up with this Fox idea of having a study session. The study session that you needed took place 18 months ago. It was voted down. I mean, there's, and then kind of some faults that you saw when some of my colleagues' arguments today. our city attorney can't do it. He's too busy. No, he can't do it. So let's hire a consultant so he can massage the language a little bit more so it can pass. So you guys will be able to vote for it and deceive you with all these hidden things that that the council colleagues, my council colleagues, may have. It didn't pass, guys, and it's futile to do things over and over and expect a different result. I think Albert Einstein mentioned that, right? I think I referred to it. The definition of insanity is trying things over and over and expecting a different result, and that's what I see happening here. One other thing, why should we have sessions? Why should we get a consultant? Shouldn't my council colleagues be fully convinced as to how this is going to benefit and already be aware of all the things that they like to include in a charter that would benefit the city? So let's hire a consultant. Let's have a study session. Let's see what else we can throw in there. I think that's pretty flawed. So it's false. This will not help us protect us from the statewide mandates that have that they've put forth with SB 9, SB 10. If you look at the news, you guys already hear over and over that there's been challenges to Huntington Beaches trying to push against the state, and other cities have been forced into opposing. Other cities have been forced to feel the wrath of the state coming down on them, imposing all these things to do. That's a false statement. I don't need to convince you guys. Come November, you guys will know what to do. This is not a good idea for the city. So I want to go on the record today to all the residents in Hawthorne that I'm completely and 100% opposed to the city charter being placed on the ballot again in any shape or form. And I'm going to stand with you guys who voted not only 60% to 39, it's going to be even more of a defeat this time because you are smart. You don't need to be fooled by a consultant massaging of words to try to make it digestible and taking away power from you, actually, and giving it to the council. Do I need to remind you of charter cities like the city of Bell? Do I need to remind you of the charter cities like San Bernardino and so many others that have gone down the road of perdition? I don't need to do that. So instead of wasting the residents' money putting this on the ballot again and wasting valuable time and laughing at our city attorney saying that he can't do the job, we should be focused on issues that matter, like solving the homelessness issue, the parking situation, policing issues, and housing issues. Isn't that what we're all concerned about? So I'm completely 100% opposed to this. And I want to let my colleagues know that I will make sure that the residents know who exactly put this on the ballot. I will remind this and I will hang this over your neck with a sign saying that you're the ones that were responsible for putting this on the ballot. Once more. That's all I have to say. Let's move on to the next item. Councilman Montero, please proceed with item 21.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Actually, this is going to give you a clear example of our mayor leadership. Because talking about 19 months ago, he's talking about the charter city, right? But he voted to put it on the ballot. He was all in favor of it. It was myself, Alex Montero, and Ms. Valentine was the only one who opposed the charter in 2022. Mr. Mayor voted to put it on the ballot. He put it on the ballot for $75,000 salary a year when he only show up in City Hall 2 meetings a month. $75,000. That charter was defeated. It was not because he's trying to protect the city. No, he's doing harm to the city. Let me tell you, the reason that the next item, we were supposed to do this in January. Now we are in April, 4 months. We're supposed to do reorganization of this council. Who represent us in outside board, who will become the mayor pro tem, was supposed to be done the first meeting in January. Now we are on the first meeting in April. It has not been done. That is why I brought it up. And we don't need to change nothing at this point because it's been already 4 months already. And then the second one, we do not have full commissioners because Mr. Mayor refused to nominate some people. We have people that have applied for commission, and he's deciding who and who not has to be appointed. And he knows because some of the people that he has appointed was his friends, and this council rejected. But if you become a charter city, it's not just the mayor who appoints. All the council members will be able to appoint commission. Then right now we have projects stopped at the planning department, at the planning commission, because we do not have the quorum. And I want to give a directive to the city manager that if the plans from the planning department are not moving forward, just bring it to the city council and we'll vote for it without the planning commission. Because Mr. Mayor is refusing to appoint commissioners. So that is why I said we need a charter city. Because there is no leadership. 4 months to do a reorganization. Commissioners, we don't have full 5 commissioners in a lot of our commissioners. So he's talking about hanging people out there on the election. So then people of Hawthorne should think about it. Do we want to vote also for the next mayor that have not shown leadership? Since 2009, has he been sitting in this council? So do not start with me, Mr. Mayor, because if you're going to attack us, and I was the one who has been protecting the city for 25 years, and I've been there on the streets 7 days, almost 24/7, protecting the city. So when you talk about truth, be honest. Because you voted to put the ballot in 2020 because they had a salary of $75,000.
Okay. So I will.
So again, this list of appointers,
Sir,
I'm not asking, I'm not
sir.
finished. That's my
No,
time.
sir.
It's my discussion
Sir,
item.
you were
It's my discussion
you were
item.
discussing
So
the
now I'm
previous
going back-
item.
I'm going back to my discussion
You were
item.
discussing the previous item. City Attorney, was he referring and all his comments directed towards the previous item?
It's all
Yes or
combined.
no?
It's all combined.
I think we should move on to the next
So
item,
I'm
which is
just
number
saying
21.
that
I'll
now
respond to everything you said.
The city attorney gave
Absolutely.
us the list, and I'm not proposing for us to do any changes because it's 4 months already in the year. I'm glad to represent the city in all these committees, but if anybody wants to make some changes, but this was supposed to be done in January. Now it's April 9.
Through the
So
chair.
I stopped.
Through the chair.
Yes.
I'm fine with my current committee assignments.
Are we in a position to rotate this? We said we were going to be rotating the mayor pro tem's position every year. So if there's a natural selection, I think Councilwoman Katrina Manning should be receiving that. Is that something we can move on? Can we agendize that, Mr. City Manager, or Mr. City Attorney?
I think that's on the agenda as a discussion action, is that I believe the mayor pro tem.
As a discussion action, but we can't vote on that
Yes,
specific item.
discussion action. Action is something
Okay.
that you could vote on.
So I'd just like to pass on the duties to Councilwoman Katrina Manning on the mayor pro tem position.
I second.
Please vote on that specific item.
The votes are in. The voting reflects mayor and council voting yes.
Congratulations, Katrina.
Thank you.
All right, folks. So I'm going to address the comments that my colleague, Councilmember Montero, made. They were related to the previous item 20. And I thank you actually for bringing up the fact that, yeah, I do support putting that item on the charter. of charter at the last election. And it was a mistake. It was a mistake to have put it on there. So now, if we continue making the same mistakes, I think that there's a problem. And we've learned with this, that the community is against the charter, and I simply support the community on this. And it's going to be unfortunately, you're going to have a lot of people, and I'm going to make sure that if we hire a consultant to massage the language, I'll let you guys know exactly what's being going on. I'll let you guys know what's being hidden. I'll let you know exactly what the repercussions could be. We learned from that, and we learned that the community doesn't want it. So that's a big learning opportunity, and we learned. And you're right, actually the commissions, we wouldn't have been in this predicament if my council colleagues would have called for removing our commissioners in the first place when we had a great operating commissions. So now the claims are made that it's heavily on me, that I haven't, I nominated people. I nominated many people. And you know what, Mr. Montero, no, actually, I don't even want to address you. I know a lot of people in the community. It's inevitable that I will know people. I know Miss Ruby Cohen's. I know her for a very long time. I know Jennifer Houston for a very long time. And there were 2 people that you guys voted for. They're my friends. So I think perpetuating the issue with the commission and the planning commission issues is something that was initiated by individuals like yourself, Councilmember Montero, and others on this council. So I think we need to be careful. So I'll be looking at the applications, and I'll be suggesting people very soon. So don't worry, we'll take care of that, and we'll see where you guys lie when it comes to that. So no on the charter. Make sure you guys tell your friends. We have elected officials, reports and recommendations. City Treasurer, Marie Poindexter-Hornbach.
That was tough to follow.
Take a deep breath.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out this evening. Wow. Okay. I wanted to say I had a great time at the Women's History Luncheon. It was great panelists and great discussion. So hats off to Ms. Reyes English and Ms. Manning on such a good job. It was a great event, and I was glad to attend. We also had the first annual Autism Walk. Delbert and Alex Montero did a fantastic job. It was a great turnout. It was a lot of fun, and I wanted to give a special thank you to the LA Rams for showing up and cheering everybody on and helping with the warm-up. I had an awesome time. It was great walking with the residents and the families there. I want to say congratulations to all 3 winners of the Good Neighbor Award. And I wanted to point out and give a really big hats off to the city staff. I've seen them at several events in the last few weeks, and I give a hats off to a lot of them for having worked the last few weekends and giving up their weekends to be at the events on the weekend. Man, you guys, I don't know how you do it, but my hats off to you all. And these events couldn't happen without you, so I thank you and appreciate your attendance and giving up your personal time and your personal weekends. The tax deadline is April 15th, just in case you didn't know. And congratulations to Councilwoman Manning on being the new Mayor Pro Tem. So congratulations. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Ms. City Clerk.
Just would like to thank everyone for coming out and staying for the entire council meeting today. Had a great time at the women's event this past weekend with Mayor Pro Tem Katrina Manning and Councilwoman Angie Reyes English. We have a plethora of other things going on coming up soon. If anybody wants to know about them, I have mostly everything posted in the office, as well as notary services. Want to remind everyone, if you need any notaries, if you need anything notarized, please don't hesitate to call the clerk's office and make an appointment. Thank you all so much for coming, and please travel home safely.
Councilmember Montero?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, good evening, everyone. Thank you again for joining us tonight and at home and right here. Just want to tell you that this is democracy in action, right? Because this is the United States of America. It's a great country. We can speak our mind. We can agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, we got elected to do business to protect the city of Hawthorne. And that is the key, is that we are the servant of the people, and we need to respect that. Again, I just want to say thank you again for the Good Neighbor Award. That was tremendous. The three individuals, Samuel, Ebony, and Michael. So show that our employee does care about their job and also protect each other. Like Maurice said, you know, my hat goes off to the staff because yes, they've been working weekends, weekend after weekend after weekend. So it's like it never stopped. And I have to say, you know, thank you again because they did an outstanding job for the first annual Autism Awareness Walk. And I have to say, you know, my hat goes to the Miss Dalbra from the Beyond Autism because she did most of the work. We just give her a hand. And I want to say thank you to the Parks and Recs Department, the Community Service, the Public Works to help with the logistics. But the autism walk went beyond my expectation. So it was well done, well organized, and the families were happy. People came from far away as you know, like they drove for 50 minutes, you know, uplanding or something, you know. So they came from San Bernardino County just to participate in that autism walk. So it was good. And thank you, Marie, for bringing the ramp cheerleaders. So the walk was fantastic. And I think eventually, you know, next year we'll do it again. And my plan is maybe to move them to the Centinela Valley, you know, Hawthorne High tracking field. When that track field is finished, because I think that will be the right place to do it. I want to say thank you to the Housing Department and the Hawthorne Business Connect, because yesterday they did a fantastic job putting a workshop at the Marriott across the street for small business administration. The guy named Cesar Estrada did a fantastic job talking to people about small loans, dealing business with the federal government, and they have some specific business there that people can apply, you know, women's, veterans. So it was a very good information given. Just what is coming up, Earth Day is on April 20th. Councilwoman English and myself are part of the committee that are putting the Earth Day and Providers Fair together. So make sure you come out on that day. It's from 10 to 2. Again, also on April 28th is a Sunday. The Hawthorne President's Council is going to be honored all the volunteers who volunteer for so many organizations in the community in 2023. So we're going to honor them on April 28th at 2 p.m. at the Memorial Center. And also just put on your calendar the Hawthorne President's Council Canine Dinner. The spaghetti dinner is going to be on May 16. That raise money for our Hawthorne Police Department Canine unit. And you know that we raise money for them maybe to buy a dog or for the training program. Just a reminder, this Saturday, the 13th, from 8 to 11:30, the Hawthorne Historical Society is going to have their pancake breakfast at the Jim Thorpe Park. So make sure you just show up for 8 a.m. to 11:30 at the Jim Thorpe Park on 14100 Prairie Avenue. And of course, the Art Festival, I'll be there. Thank you very much. And at this point,
like I said, just keep in your mind and then put on your calendar. More events are coming. June 22nd, we're going to celebrate Juneteenth celebration, so put on your calendar. Again, thank you for all of you coming tonight, and thank you. This has been a great meeting, a great democracy in action, so God bless America and God bless Hawthorne. Thank you.
Councilmember David Patterson, please.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Montero, when was the canine dinner again?
May 16th. That's 5 p.m.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank the community for coming out and participating in the process and making your voices heard. That is a valuable part of this whole process. I definitely appreciate you guys and your contribution to our city. Those of you that really speak up have the opportunity to implant ideas and suggestions in staff's minds and council's minds to get things done. So you guys are playing a great role in the direction of our city, as well as our commissioners as well. I want to thank you guys for your contribution. I want to thank our city staff for your hard work and dedication, and our police department as well. Yeah, we got a lot of great things happening in our city. Got a few things I want to say before we're out. I want to thank DJ for his presentation about the 311 app. That was a great presentation as well, well put together. See, DJ, is sharp, right, and playing a great role in our city. Definitely appreciate your contribution. Good Neighbors Awards. I want to congratulate Sam English, Ebony Johnson, and Officer Michael Grajeda. You guys, our city wouldn't be what it is without your contributions. I love the new city logo. Looking forward to sporting that around town. I definitely agree we should have some speed humps on 119th Street. That looks like a perfect opportunity to just floor it and hurt somebody, and that is not what we want in our city. So definitely hope that we can get that done sooner versus later. We had a solar eclipse across America on Monday. Hope you guys had an opportunity to see it. Got your special eclipse glasses and see kind of the moon getting in front of the sun. It was I find that stuff kind of cool. I'm a bit of a nerd. I went and found a location where there was not in California. I think or LA was like 57% coverage of the sun. I went to Puerto Vallarta and it was like 95% coverage of the sun, which was really, really cool. But I wish I was able to make it to Dallas or somewhere over there where it was 100% coverage. In those areas, it went from day to night in the middle of the day. And I think it's just a spectacular reminder of our place in the universe when things like that align. And I'm sure our schools took that as an opportunity to teach our youth more about our world and where we're at in the universe. I'd like to make a directive to staff. Give me a moment, I have some notes on my phone. I want to ask the staff to bring an ordinance concerning the handling of policy violations within the city, whether it be staff or elected officials. And definitely look forward to having an opportunity to welcome some new commissioners to our commissions. I understand our planning commission has not been meeting very often. I think over the last 12 scheduled meetings, we've only had 4 meetings where there was a quorum. So I myself see the value of having 5 people on that commission instead of just the bare minimum of 3. It's obviously not working for us. So looking forward to rounding out these commissions. And I want to encourage our community to apply to these commissions. Right? Our city literally cannot run effectively without your contribution and your volunteerism and representing your community on these commissions and boards. So I want to thank you guys again for coming out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
Councilwoman Angie Reyes-English.
Thank you, Mayor, and congratulations, Katrina.
Thank you.
Let me just make a few observations. So I've been really championing and providing information with regards to the California Utilities Commission, Edison. There was not very many people that signed up to take the bus so that we could go and speak against the ratepayer increases on Wednesday, the 10th, coming up at the CPUC starting at 2 p.m. in Long Beach. However, I appeal to you as a resident, as a constituent, more importantly, a ratepayer of utilities, to speak your voice. The legislatures in Sacramento have authorized the CPUC to enact an income-based fixed electric utility charge. The income-based fixed charges, the first globally, was voted through Sacramento legislators with an Assembly Bill 205. Now the CPUC is considering a monthly charge of $20 to $34. And if you remember, they wanted to give us charges $51. But let me give you some more information. The $20 to $34 for households making income less of $69,000, to $51 and up to $73 for households making $69,000 or up to $180, and $85 to $128 for households over incomes of $180,000. You know, and this is something recently the Public Utilities Commission has offered less, but at the end of the day, it's not good enough. You know, we're in a recession. There's inflation. There's people losing their jobs. There's people losing their housing. People can't afford even milk or eggs or groceries. People can't even afford the gas, and gas continues to increase. And here you've got the utilities entities wanting to increase your utility bills. We have vulnerable individuals that are housebound with equipment that requires their utilities. You have individuals that are vulnerable, don't speak English or other languages, not going to know what's coming. You have people fixed on Social Security and other disability income. So, you know, at the end of the day, this is not the time to make increases to the people of California, let alone Hawthorne residents. And so I really want to appeal to those that can make the commission hearing, the CUP commission hearing, to please go, make a stance. I'm a voice, and I'm a voice for all, but I'm only one individual. You could really make a difference when you go in numbers. And this is coming. And they want to do this 25 through 28, 2025 through 2028. What are they going to do in 2028? They're going to do it again and again. You have to remember the Utilities Commission's CPUC hears all utilities and telephone and anything having to do with utilities, how you're receiving either energy, how you're receiving your phone calls, if you still have a landline, et cetera, et cetera. And this is not the time. And I really think that there's a disconnect, but more importantly, it's very disheartening to know that this went through the legislature and we're at today. And I do have people calling me and asking me questions, and I don't have those answers, unfortunately. I'm just providing information as I'm getting information. So I'm using this platform to speak to the people of Hawthorne that your utilities are going to be increased. And you know, maybe coming out in numbers will make a difference, and they could hold off to give you time to know that, and to give you time to make your adjustments as needed. But 2025, you know, I'm going to say it again. It's something that we just need to really, you know, speak against. And I'm going to be going out there. I'm not going to be on the bus because we canceled the bus because there wasn't any individuals. We had less than maybe, you know, 10. And so please look at the proposed decision that the CPUC, there's a fact sheet. I don't know if it's outside in the lobby, but we'll make that available to you. Moving on, I just want to thank Business Connect. Yesterday we had a Business Connect at the Marriott Hotel across the street. If you're a small business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a micro business, Cesar Estrada, one of the small business the SBA, Small Business Administration representative, was here yesterday and spoke to how you could inquire money if you're a small business, and provided great information. And I asked him to come to City Council so that he could provide the council and those attending additional information. But if you're interested in that, we have his information and his contact phone number. Thank you to the ladies and those that helped City Manager put on another great Business Connect for the residents of Hawthorne and, more importantly, the businesses. I also want to make mention CERT. CERT is the training that's offered through LA County Fire. If you are interested on how to become a CERT member, the classes are going to start here in Hawthorne at the Hawthorne Memorial Center. The first 3 classes are going to start October 26th, November 2nd, and November 9th. I'd like to thank LA County Fire for helping us with the training and for their partnership, and Mr. Sam English, who is the lead for our CERT training and those courses here in the city of Hawthorne for its residents. Thank you, Katrina Manning, for the women's event that we hosted. It was a great turnout. It was a great way of connecting to not only our women, but general individuals that, you know, oftentimes think that council members are robots. You know, we're human too. We have, you know, great passion. We have, you know, we're wives, we're you know, grandmothers, we're sisters, aunts, and sometimes, you know, politics, being a council member can be a little lonely. So it was good to just have that discussion in general discussion with all those that attended, and I'm glad to receive even Texas Today saying that they enjoyed it, and most importantly, they enjoyed the discussion and being truthful on how we manage all of this as an elected, and more importantly, how we engage with people. I enjoyed that. Thank you for that. Our service provider fair, as Councilmember Montero mentioned, we're going to be doing that on Saturday, April 20th. Please bring out your family, be able to connect to the tables, all the tabling that's going to be there. They're going to be providing services and goods, referrals, information, general information. So all of this is information that could be beneficial to you or maybe to your family or your loved ones. So if you have an opportunity, please stop in from 10 to 2 on Saturday, April 20th. I'd like to acknowledge our groundbreaking today that we had, which is a sewer improvement project for our new main and sewer lines here at the corner of 126 and Hawthorne Boulevard, just right outside Bank of America. There's going to be new lines being dropped, and that's the segue to our new underground parking and our new civic center that's going to be coming. So if you see some of the cones coming up, if you see some deterrents there for you to, you know, drive somewhere else, go around, et cetera, be patient. As you can see, City Hall has a new street. 126 is a one-way now, and we have sideway parking. And I just say, you know, if you're traveling our streets, to be safe and be aware that there are employees working on the street, and we need to be cautious whenever we're driving and we see individuals that are building out our city. Because of how we're coming along in moving forward and having all these new synergy, bringing along projects, a new city hall, and those alike, I'm excited. I'm excited to know that I'm a part of that. I'm excited to know that you're going to be a part of that, and I just love the fact that the brainstorming that has come from a new city council member, a new city attorney, department heads is in one accord, and we're going to be able to really make a difference when it comes to a new city hall and bringing a city hall to the people and being able to use its resources in those rooms that are going to be available to do just that. I'm still championing solar. So, you know, I know folks say, you know, whether or not solar is making a difference in their utility bills. I think any alternative is making a difference to any utility bill. And so I'm championing, and I belong to the Solar Association, and I get regular information from them. And so I thank those that are looking to do green and how we became green. I'd like to thank Senator Bradford for his Earth Day cleanup. I used to participate in that with Caltrans along the parking right on 120th and Crenshaw Boulevard. And yes, we could do a lot more when it comes to cleanup, especially our roadways, our exits, our freeways, our on-ramps and off-ramps. So anything that anyone is ever doing to address the needs for cleanup is important. And if your community or group would like to submit a request to do a cleanup in their community, please do so. I'll be more than happy to support that, as our council will, and we'll be able to provide some supplies for you to do that. I look forward to working with the 311 app. It's very beneficial to the residents of Hawthorne. It's very beneficial just, again, to report out as you see it, and engage with the department so that we could have that taken care of immediately. And thank you to, again, some of the commissioners that were out at our women's event. I have to acknowledge Ms. Balboa. Thank you for coming. And I know Ruby was there too. And I want to thank, I have it. I know I have it. Jasmine, thank you. Thank you for coming and providing us our certificates of recognition along with Holly Mitchell's office. Ara, thank you so much. But to our department heads, all of you, if you see our renderings out in the lobby, take a look at that. Look forward to the pancake breakfast. Look forward. I saw pictures, Mr. Dick Hune, of our golf tournament that you had. Congratulations on that. And our police, thank you for what you're doing to bring awareness to driving and not texting. So have a great week, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Angie Race English. Mayor Pro Tem Manning.
Can you say that again?
Mayor Pro Tem Manning.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I'd like to say thank you to my colleagues for allowing me to have such a privilege. I also want to say congratulations to all of the Good Neighbors Award winners. I appreciate all of you, and keep up the good work. Also, I wanted to say Deborah did a fantastic job for the autism walk. It was beautiful, and so many people showed up. I'm so glad that I had an opportunity to attend the first one, and I think it's a great idea, Council Member Montero, for it to be at the other location next year. I look forward to that, and I'll definitely be supporting that as well. Also, Robert, if you can give a quick update on the 11808 Wilkie. I know I spoke with you, and my neighbors are here, so I just wanted you to give them an update that we talked about. Yes, please.
So the Assistant City Attorney Sean Lask was on this task, and I don't want to get into too much detail because there are certain options that the city has in terms of nuisance that's created there. In terms of the removal of the vehicles, we were trying to have them voluntarily remove them first, which they did. At the same time, I think they're aware that we're also seeking a warrant. The city can't just go in there and start, taking things out of people's private property. We got to have court orders to do so. So that's being simultaneously being taken. We were told by the, I guess, the person that is responsible for the property that they would go through certain procedure with the DMV so that the vehicles could be removed. I understand. I saw the photographs of the 3 vehicles. I think one of the vehicles is not really a nuisance type, the SUV, that seems like in a better shape, right? I think the problem is the 2 vehicles in the driveway and maybe the condition of the house itself. But out of those 2 vehicles, I understand that one of them has been removed and there is one left. And, we prefer to work with the owners to try to have it removed, but I understand there's, time's been taken up. So we do have another option of getting a court order to do so. But if at all possible, we prefer to have the property owners cooperate with the city and take care of the issues. Okay, so because otherwise the legal procedures takes time. So that's the current status right now.
Thank you. I have 2 more things. City Manager, I'd like to give you a directive to look into getting speed humps for 119th Street. The address that was given to me of the person that's had their car hit twice is 2615 West 119th Street. So that's the house. And so if you could look into getting speed bumps for that. And then the second directive that I wanted to talk about is Prop 1. Prop 1 authorized $6.3 billion in bonds to build mental health treatment facilities for those with mental health and substance use challenges. It provides housing for the homeless. So I've been talking about us getting a urgent care facility, and I'd like for you to look into applying for a grant that could assist us with mental health and urgent care facility. And then if there's any other opportunities for us to get additional funding outside of that, if you can apply for those grants as well. Also, I'd like to remind everybody that Mother's Day, Councilwoman Reyes and I are hosting Mother's Day, May 11th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So please bring your mother, your daughter. It's a celebration. And even if you don't have a babysitter, bring your daughter with you. Even if she's like 5 or 6, we want to celebrate all of the moms. So make sure that you show up. And again, I just want to say thank you to my colleagues for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Okay. And that being said, we have a new Mayor Pro Tem, but I also want to thank our recent Mayor Pro Tem, Angie Reyes English, for helping me out as my second in command, backing me up whenever I'm not available to attend something on the dais. If I'm not here, I have to step out. And you know, you served us honorably in your role. So this is not the first time you've done it before. So you know, we could always look to you for your support and commitment on that. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can we give her a big round of applause?
Thank you.
And of course, we have our new Mayor Pro Tem, Councilwoman Katrina Manning. And like I say, Mayor Pro Tem, Katrina Manning, I said it again, right? Or I hope I did say it right. And, you know, like I said, and I told my friends, you know, she has 8 years or 9 years worth of ideas ready to put them into effect. That's why you've seen so many events coming from her and a lot of different things, activities. So I think it's fitting at this moment that she helps us out with this role in backing me up and supporting the city as a Mayor Pro Tem, right? You're good with that? All right, good. Ms. City Clerk, the minutes didn't appear on this agenda. Can you tell us, is it going to appear on the next agenda?
It should, yes, definitely.
Okay, so we'll be okay, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, awesome.
To the chair, I need to be excused for the next council meeting, which is, I believe, the 23rd. And since I won't be here on the 23rd, I need to abstain from the meeting that I wasn't here on the minutes.
Could we just keep that on the record?
Yeah, I need to, because I'm not going to be here, so I want to make note.
Mr. City Attorney, is there any thing that we can do as to her comments right now, her abstaining? She's not going to vote, but it just, we'll take it on for the record? That her intention was to abstain, right?
No, not from the 20, okay, well, there's the two
In
meetings,
terms of
right?
the minutes,
yeah.
which item?
So I wasn't here on one of those meetings. I think it was back in March, the end of March, the 26th, I wasn't here.
How about we mention it at the next meeting,
Okay.
that you weren't here for the
To
specific
be reminded
meeting?
of it, yes.
And then we'll acknowledge that at that time.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. We have a new public works effort that is being very visible in the city. We're seeing all the light poles, Akbar, right? All the light poles, they kind of seem taller, right? You guys have noticed them? They're, I saw them on 120 near my parents' house, but they're all elsewhere. So they're taller. It's using more energy. They're taller. They're taller than the previous ones, right, Akbar?
Yes, the traffic signal right now is taller,
Traffic signals,
and safety light is
Yeah.
like 3-4 feet taller.
They're taller, and so the light's efficient, and it covers a lot of areas. So it's like you go outside, and it's no longer dark. It's brighter, but it's not like bright in the sense that it's going to distract any drivers or distract you if you're walking. Or it's a comfortable and it's a regulated light that's well intentioned, right?
Yes, sir. They are LED and they are brighter.
Yeah, so this is good. Thank you. Thank you for that effort and seeking the funding together with our city manager and staff that put, and yourself and your staff for putting all the grants in for those upgrades. So definitely we're improving our city. We're changing our logo, and then we're just changing even some of the technology within our city. So I think that's very important. The eclipse, everybody saw the eclipse or heard about the eclipse, and everybody was talking about it. Oh, the eclipse, oh, the total. Everybody, all of a sudden, everybody's so familiar with the new word, totality. Oh, the totality, the path to totality. So everybody's a scientist. All of, I kind of put on my Facebook, hey, whatever happened to the phrase total eclipse, right? But then I got a lot of my friends that say, oh, you're thinking of the song Total Eclipse of the Heart, right? So they're kind of being goofy, but it was like eclipse fever, and everybody was excited about it. My sister, who lives in Texas, was able to see it with my nephew, and they sent us video. So it's kind of spooky. It is spooky. And I actually had people that were calling me and saying, hey, maybe we should already get all your provisions ready. Something's gonna change. Things are gonna go down. Put fuel in your car. Be ready to drive out into the country or something. I don't know. It seemed like it was gonna be like the demise of the world, but it wasn't so. Oh, this one's important. The 99-cent only stores. Everybody heard about that, and it's kind of sad hearing about that. But it seems it's symptomatic about what's going on. Just the price of doing business. But a big factor that the owners of the chain mentioned were that there's just a lot of shoplifting. I mean, right? Shoplifting. I work in a jail, guys. I mean, I'm not going to throw it in there just to throw it in there in this case, but we don't get people who are shoplifting coming in through the jail, being prosecuted for that, because they're getting away with it. They're getting away with it. If you steal less than $950, well, at the 99-cent only store, that'd be like 950 items, right? But come on, man. If you're stealing every dollar, every penny, it starts adding up, and it becomes hard for people to do business. And when we have our district attorney not being able to, either choosing not to prosecute it or not having the tools because the threshold is $950, that's pretty sad. We have our Targets. Remember, we referred to the Targets having the glass counters over there near your neighborhood, right? That's sad. And it's all a result of the $950 threshold. And I'm sorry, we have our state senator. Oh, he's already on his way out. So we'll have to talk to the next state senator that comes to place. Our assemblywoman, our new state senator, and all those people in the state need to get their act together and start thinking about what we need to do, because there need to be some repercussions for taking stuff that's not yours. Things have changed so much that now it's okay to steal. And you got the same repeat offenders. They come in the morning, and then they come at night. And no, because it's under the threshold. And why don't things happen? Why don't we get involved? Because they don't want to call anymore, because they're afraid of that we're not going to be prosecuting it because we don't have any teeth to do anything. So I think we need to be very careful. We need to push our state officials to get their act together and reduce that threshold and give the tools and the ability for our prosecution within the county, within the city, the tools to be able to go after this stuff. Because when something's not yours, it's not yours. It's pretty simple. All right? This whole little COVID excuse thing that, everybody's going through COVID, and why are prices going up? Because it's harder for businesses to stay afloat, because people are stealing, getting away with stuff. It's like a cycle. So once you just cap that off, when it comes to the thresholds, you watch things start coming back, and people are able to make ends meet and keep their businesses afloat. Okay? So we need to be smart on who we vote in, because the pendulum's going to swing in the other direction on some of this stuff at the state level. All right? People are going to get frustrated. Unfortunately, you guys, some people might think that that's going to happen at the federal level too. I think we just need to be conscious of who we elect and who's going to step up for us and just do the right thing and just have some energy to be able to counter these things, okay? Thank you to my council colleagues for being here today. Good discussions today, and let's move forward. With the big lot, with the 99-cent only store, there is hope for the 99-cent only store because we've been hearing that the big lots owner might buy the 99-cent only brand and properties and get that back going. So if there's something we can, Mr. City Attorney and Mr. City Manager, is there something we can do on behalf of the city to send a letter, just encouraging the big lots, finding out who the big lots owner is, and tell them that they have, since we have 99-cent only stores, we would love to see them follow through with this. Can you fashion a letter on our behalf? And if everybody's okay, we just show that we're in agreement, and we hope that they will follow through.
Absolutely, yes, we can do that.
Okay, thanks. Thank you all for being here. Have a great evening. This meeting is adjourned at 8:38.